Okay, everybody, I want to take this moment and introduce my friend Bridget Winton, who is one of my friends that I met years ago on Dog with a Blog.
Hey.
We had a great time on it. Bridget lives in San Diego, where she has owned and operated a full-service salon spa since 1984. Bridget has been a 706 union member for 18 years. She has numerous, and I repeat, numerous awards and trophies. And if you saw them, you would be amazed. She was showing me them via Zoom, how many she has, and it's crazy. We can't even count. She is also a certified paramedical technician, a cosmetologist, permanent makeup artist. Her specialty is wig making. She has talents like you can't believe, and if there's something new out there, she will learn it and she will teach it. She loves to teach. So please welcome Bridget Winton.
Hey. Thank you all for having me here today. And I will tell you this, and I'm going to work fast because I want to try to show you at least 3 hairstyles on one head. And I'll tell you the reason why. But, you know, it's always been a dream for me when I got in the union to teach a class. And here I am. So when you put it out there in the universe, it will come. You just have to wait for your timing. So with that being said, also, yes, I do have lots of certifications. I don't believe in being stagnant in my education and my skill level. I tell you, when COVID was around, of course, you heard I own the salon. I was able to still make a living with my wig making. So let me make sure this is, and it pays. So you do have to have like several streams of income. All right, so if you have any questions, you can ask me because I know how to talk and work at the same time. Now, I wanted to demonstrate today something that people can do in the salon all day long, but there's different techniques, different ways that you would do the service in the salon versus in the trailer. So when you're in the trailer, you don't have that kind of salon time. You got to work fast, right? And then there's a lot of times when you go into the trailer and you see I say client, but when you see an actor come in and sometimes your mind is like, oh, okay, what are we going to do with that? I mean, you might have had a test before, but if you haven't, and the actor, you know what the hair looks like, but they come in and it's a little different, then you're like stumped. So I wanted to show a girl that comes in with curly hair because now it's the natural phase. A lot of people like to wear natural hair. And I also learned that African Americans, when I'm working with them on set, they don't want that much heat, or they don't want that much blow drying, or they don't want a lot of stuff going on with their hair. So to take curly hair to work with it, you can use product to spruce up the curly look, but you don't know what that character's look is supposed to be like. Now, you also don't want to use a lot of product just in case you have to change it over for another scene or another day or something in that same day, and you got to do a quick change. So you don't want a lot of product. So I'm just going to show you how her hair, the curliness, and then up here, I do have a shortcut. It's like a pixie type of cut, but some of you might be like nervous about how do I get this straight? How do I make this look good without putting a lot of product to slick it back? Because if you're slicking it back, then how are you going to wash it out for another style? So let's go for that first. I'll turn her this way. And a lot of you, I know, own, and if you don't, it is so important to have a mini Because if you have African American, you know what? It doesn't even have to be African American. It can be a girl, Caucasian, any nationality, any ethnicity that has really super curly hair, and you do a blowout, but you can't get that new growth straight, right? Well, you need a mini. So you can go in and straighten that hair. Okay? Now, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take big sections just because we're time-wise, because I do want to show you some other things. And
Bridget, how big of the sections do you normally take?
oh,
Normally.
like to get a nice smooth, like 1/8 of an inch to 1/4. You know, because like this is a big section, and if I were to do this, see, it all might not all get really straight, but you'll have to go in and do a couple of passes. But I take it and I go back and down. I don't take it like out, or I take it in the direction that I want that hair to lay. Because later on, I want this hair to go up. Because I'm going to take it up, or I might just leave it down and go around the ear. Everybody can see that, right? I should put my irons right there. Okay.
How hot is your flat iron?
This is like 410. Because I need to do the do. And here's something funny. I didn't really put product on. She put just a little bit of leave-in product, which I was going to do, but she did it for me to help as heat protectant. But you also don't want to put a lot of product because you don't want a lot of smoke coming up in the trailer. I was working on a show, and the department head, the actor, came in with dirty hair, and I had to style it. And it smoked up the salon, the salon. And I say that because she said, it smells like a salon in here when she walked in the trailer. So a lot of times, you know, you have new actresses that don't know the protocol of how to come in with some clean hair, or, you know, hair that's workable. Okay, so now we got the gist of that, right? All right, so let's jump back here, and we'll come back. So I'm going to show you how to do spiral curls with the hair already curly, but then later I'm going to pull it up to do different ponytails, to change it out and not use a lot of product. Because this is the type of ponytail normally in the salon you would use gels and got to be spray and stuff like that. And you know, once you put that product on, that's it. And if she's working the next day, what happens? She's got to go home, wash it, and start all over. And at least this way, if you have product, I'm going to go this way. Oh, you got me, right? Okay. If you have just a little bit of product, so And if she doesn't, when she goes home and she doesn't really do anything to it, you can kind of touch it up the next day if you're repeating. A lot of times you might think, oh, I'm going to need to blow dry her hair out and flat iron it and then curl it. And you don't always have to do that. When I'm working on ethnic hair, I keep it a little high, like 375 to 410. But if it's thin hair, no, I turn it down. If it's really kinky, curly hair, yes, I definitely have it up, or I will take the time to blow dry it. But again, I'm thinking about time. And for the sake of time, I'm taking big sections. And what this is going to also achieve is still a textured look, but a more refined look. And since it's a lot of hair here, I don't necessarily have to go into the new growth area to make that straight. Because in the end, I'm going to kind of pick these out. She put a cream on at home. But yeah, I was going to put in a moisture lock, which serves as putting moisture in the hair and serving as a heat protectant. And yeah, you can tell there's product because you can see the heat, the product coming up. So this way, when I know I'm on a time crunch, I can just redefine her curl pattern, keep her happy with not having to do a bunch of blow drying and flat ironing. But while I am doing this, I'm going to talk about my wig making. That is something that I've done for many, many years. And I started out doing that when a client of mine, she was in hospice, let's say it that way. And she was losing her hair. And this was in the 80s. She asked, "You think you could make me a wig?" Now, I never made a wig at that time. But I didn't want to disappoint my client. I wanted her to be happy because she wasn't going to be here much longer. So I was like, sure. First thing I did, I went to the fabric store. Well, I got a wig, and I had plenty of wigs, but I studied how the wig was, right? So I went to the fabric store, and I was like, okay, I need netting, I need lace, I need ribbons, I need this. And I can't even remember. I was so excited. I don't even know if I took measurements. But I just wanted to make her something to, and I think they wanted to use it for her viewing. So I wanted to make it pretty. And so I stayed up all night making the wig. It looked like mess, but, okay, so what else did you put on? Is that it? You just put the product on? Okay. And I was like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to make this fit on her head. It was like overstretched, so I was doing some alterations when she came in, and it was slipping off her head. So I was thinking on the spot, like, oh my God, what can I do? What can I do? So I used, at that time, didn't know a thing about tapes and different adhesives. So I used bonding glue to put around the perimeter and to keep it still. I'll go back and do that one. And honey, when I finished putting it on and I cut it and styled it, and she was one of my clients that back in the day, when you had that really super blonde and then the back was dark, you know, little. And so I achieved that. Then when I cut it, styled it, she was so happy. She don't know what I went through, but that was the main thing, you know, to make her happy and to look nice. And so that started me because of the gratification that I got. I was like, oh, I need to keep doing this, but I need to get better. And so we really didn't have YouTube back then, or what else, like Facebook, Instagram. We didn't have all that. So I just kept studying and studying and studying different wigs until finally I started improvising with different nets and things like that, and then my business just took off from there. But then my business grew with a lot of funeral homes. And I was like, man, it's not that I took for granted, like, well, they're not going to be able to see this, you know, but I still put my best into it. And was making wigs for, you know, clients while they were in hospice and stuff, and the family. I'd go to the houses, just meet them and talk to them and kind of size up their heads instead of like taking measurements because they knew what it was for, you know. Kind of sized it up. And there was one person that I asked the family, because, you know, they really wanted to have the wig resemble the mom, the husband. And I said, hey, that picture on the wall, do you think I could take that picture with me? Because it kind of gave me like inspiration of like how to style it, how to finish it off and things like that. So they said, okay. So I had the picture beside me while I was making the wig. And I forgot her name, but I was like, oh girl, you gonna look good when I finish this, and da-da-da-da. And it took me like a couple days to make it, but I just remember, like that last day I had it, for some reason in my spirit, I was like, hold on, I'm coming. Don't you go nowhere. And I was talking to the picture, and sure enough, the family called me and said, hey, are you almost done? I said, oh yeah, matter of fact, I'm done. I'm just like finishing up the details. I said, I should be able to deliver it today. And mind you, I live in San Diego. They lived in Laguna Beach, so I had to drive it out there. And when I got there, the family looked at it because I had it on a mannequin. I learned ahead of time presentation. And they was like, oh my God, that looks just like my mom. And da-da. And she passed that night. So it was like I was talking to her like, hold on, don't go nowhere, you know. But I know how even when you're working with people that are alive and you make them happy, you know, people when they know it's their final time, and the family, you make them happy. Because it's nothing like seeing them the way they want to remember them. Oops. Then I just kept going and kept going. I had to learn ventilating because I was on a show where they were going to send out some mustaches and sideburns to be fixed. And this is when we did a lot of taping in San Diego back in the day, because that's where I got my start from. And I was dibbling dabbling with the ventilating. And most of you know what ventilating is, right? Okay. So they were on the phone with production calling, saying, hey, can we get somebody here to send this in to LA to have it fixed? And I was like, Bridget, you better say something. You better open your mouth. I was like, well, hey, I can fix that. You can. I was like, yeah. Now, the moral to all of these stories, some stuff you have never done, but you got to open your mouth and just and just do it. You got to challenge yourself. So they said, okay. They gave me a couple of days. I went home. I was like, oh my God, I got to make this look good. I can't be messing up. I can't tear the lace, da-da-da. So still didn't have YouTube, nothing like that, but I bought a video. So I was watching the video. I'd stop and go to the mustache. And I'm like, crap, it's not staying. It's not doing good. And me, I'm determined I'm not going to give somebody a bad product. So I stayed up all night. And I ended up returning the mustache and sideburns. They were like, oh, wow, okay, we'll use you from now on. I was like, whew, good. And that's just how I've just gotten my start with a little bit of everything. Okay. Yeah.
Do you teach classes on making wigs?
Yes, I do.
What other classes do you teach?
I teach body contouring and permanent makeup. Right now, somebody asked me. Yeah, that's about it right now. The permanent makeup, the body contouring, and the wigs. The wigs are my number one classes that I teach. And it goes in sections as far as what you want to take. If you want to learn from scratch. Oh, and then I will tell you this. Finally, years later, I think in the late 90s, I decided to go take a wig making class. So I flew to San Francisco, and because Krylon was offering a class. And I said, oh, you know what, I'm gonna go take that class. So it was funny because when I got there, the teacher saw, and I didn't tell her I already knew how to make wigs and so forth. The teacher was looking at how I was going in the class, and she goes, is there anything I'm going to be able to teach you in this class? I said, yes, it is. Don't you worry. You just do what you do. I'll pick it up, and you can always learn from anybody, right? Well, I'm telling you, it was an aha moment when we were at the stage where we were making the foundation from scratch, the lace foundation. You know how you put your darts and your seams and your, well, so she was teaching how to do the stitching of the sections with monofilament with the ventilating needle. And I out loud in the class, I said, oh my God. She said, what? I said, I just learned something here today. And she goes, good. She says, oh, you mean you don't do this? I said, I've always had a problem catching that monofilament in my needle and getting it to stick. She goes, oh, good. So it always makes a teacher feel good when they know you already know something, but you can learn something. Just like today, I'm hoping I'm teaching you something different or something extra. I have a question. Yeah.
Microfilament, is that what you said?
Monofilament.
Monofilament, what's that?
It's almost like a fishing wire, fishing line, but it comes in different degrees of thickness. So when you're doing like wig stitching or something like that, you want the finest. But when you have heavier construction to do, you do want a thicker depth, but you have to be careful because it pokes. It really, like even the finest monofilament, like if you cut off where the knot is and you leave just a little bit, it pokes, it irritates.
Was your teacher Judy Disbrow?
Yes, it was.
Thank you. I took a class from her as well.
What year was that?
Oh gosh, it was great. The ventilating, I was not a crocheter at the time.
Hold on one second.
Oh, sorry.
So I'm going just straight up, going from the new growth to make it smoother.
I was asking if Judy Disbrow was your teacher.
She sure was.
I took a class from her in wig making as well. At that point, I didn't know how to crochet. During lockdown, I learned how to crochet, so I think I might try the ventilating again,
Oh, yeah.
one hair at a time.
I'm telling you, I ended up learning quite a bit from her. And I went home thinking, oh, you can't tell me nothing. I got it. And then making my wefts, custom weft making. And at that time, she was not going to teach anymore. She was going to be done. Hey, I left San Francisco with a bunch of tools because she just gave me so much stuff. I was like, I hit the jackpot. I do. Yes. Well, this is what I do. I tell people, you know, because a lot of times I do one-on-one, or if I advertise, I'll usually do it like Sunday, Monday, like Saturday evening, Sunday, Monday. But if it doesn't fit into the schedule, you know, I do private classes. It's better if you come to me because I have a wig room that I have a lot, you know, and I teach how to make extensions, like your tape-in extensions, your micro beads.
Where's your location?
San Diego. Oh, you know, I shouldn't have said it like that. San Diego.
I'll try to reach out to you. What's your Instagram?
Okay, Instagram is Bridget's Essence of Beauty, and you'll see my picture. BRIDGETSESSENCE of beauty. And yeah, Bridget's BRIDGETS, like Bridget's, Essence of Beauty.
And in your classes, do you also teach how to make those ponytails with the Velcro?
Yes.
Okay.
And I teach hair replacement. So when you go to my Instagram, you'll see where I've taken a gentleman that had absolutely no hair and made it look like he had hair. All right, so I'm going to pick these out. So you see how I flat ironed the front. I'm not done. I'm going to style that. But I wanted to show you. And doesn't she have a pretty salt and pepper color? Yes. So I got different ponytails that had salt and pepper to blend with her. Okay, so say this is the first style. This client actress is gonna have. So see, that looks a little bit more uniform than I sure can. All right. So now for the front, I got the new growth straightened out. And there's different things you could do with this. I could put spray, have it stand up. I don't want to do that because I want to change it. But I'm going to curl it with my flat iron to give it body and just feather it back. And I just want to do enough of a curl to make it feather. Because again, I'm still going to use this hair for something else. Okay. Then after this is when I'm going to pull it up into a ponytail. After I finish this stuff. It's got a little more product on it than I would have wanted, but it's okay since I'm working double irons, you know. Okay. Did you guys find my Instagram? So you see I do skincare.
But you don't have a lot of posts up here.
That's because this young lady's gonna start doing all my posts. Because we got a library of pictures. I just haven't put them on. I'm slow with that.
You're like a hidden gem.
Pretty much, that's what everybody says. It's easy for me on Facebook, so I'll post stuff on Facebook, but that Instagram, you gotta take your time, do this, put the tag, put the this. I'm like, so this is what her job is.
Then you gotta go on TikTok.
Okay, and I got a TikTok account, but I'm just following people right now. I don't even have nothing posted. But we're supposed to start dancing and doing stuff as the wig, because my handle is Wig Diva. And we were gonna do some dancing and carrying on.
Well, to make you feel better, experienced people don't have followers because they're too busy. So.
Okay, so this would be like, all right, she's ready. There you go. First look. Okay? Does it look okay? All right, so here we go. Second look. Okay, so now she's come in and we're going to go up in a ponytail. I'm going to turn it around just a second. And it's almost a shame to mess it up, huh? Okay, tilt to the side. Because I want to have all this hair go up. I had some, here there. Normally in the salon, you know, we probably put some gel and product. I still am going to put some product, but not too much. Okay, so now from here, you know, these type of ponytails are easy to do. And I'm just gonna put this on and I'm gonna take it right back off. You always have to have some instant ponytails. There's combs in here. See the two combs? I still want that. That's why I'm not putting that away. Oh, here it is. Okay. And now there's a little drawstring here. Pull it tight. And then pull it around. And normally you can pin it. And if you want this to sit up higher, you can pin that. And then this, see how nice and smooth that's going into there? And of course, I'll put a little hairspray, but a liquid, and I'm just, okay, I hate to do this, but okay. Just a little bit, and then you can use your diffuser. We're going to leave this. And then you'll pin that together. Then you got another style. Okay? Like I said, you'll spritz it, spray it to diffuse it so that way it can still be movable, because you know how we do on set, we have our aerosol and we'll just go in and spray a little bit, spray a little bit. Ooh. And if I wanted to, see, you can take these and put it in a bun. But I'm going to take this off, move this, tighten that. All right, now, and of course, here's a straight one that if you wanted a slick look, but I don't want to waste the time on that. I don't know how much time I have left. Let's see. Okay. I'm going to use a synthetic braid. So there's two ways you could put this on. There's the rubber band that comes on this. You can put it like that. Then you can braid this, and then you can twist it around. But this is what I want to do with it. Hold that. Keep holding it. Did you all see what I did? Okay. Well, I split it in half. I put the rubber band where my existing ponytail is, have her hold one side, and I'm wrapping it tight. Okay, so you can let go. Okay. I'm going to put hair off to the side, hold that. Normally, I would work with a thicker ponytail. There's three like that come in a pack, but I'm just gonna do the one. I'm gonna split it in half, or in threes, and I'm gonna start braiding. Lean forward. Lean forward more. Thank you. And that's the only thing you have to separate, make sure that the hair doesn't get, oh, you can let go of that now. Okay, but stay leaning forward. Because later, I want to go through and kind of pull the braid apart. And there's always one that ends up like smaller, thinner. So I just kind of cheat it. Okay, I'm just gonna tape this off, rubber band this off. Because then you could take like a steamer, put curls in there. Let's hold that, lean forward. Okay, I'm gonna take this. Wrap around. And then now, since this this whole thing is visible, I'm gonna go ahead and pin all of this up. Okay, I'm gonna turn. Well, I'm gonna go here now. And I appreciate you all sticking around to the end. Yes, girl. And again. I don't have my mirror in the front, so how's this looking in the front? And if this was a thicker braid, so what I'm gonna do is do this. Now, you know something funny, I'm gonna use a bobby pin, but I have a client that goes to visit a friend in prison. And she loves to get her hair done before she goes visit. But she cannot have metal in her hair. So I sew it and I use toothpicks for what I'm doing. I just take those toothpicks. So that way, when she has them visits, she can pass the All right, folks. Oh. I've known this young lady since she was 8 years old. So I call her new school. Well, I really appreciate the love and the time that you gave me. That kind of looks good. So
Miss Bridget, to sign up for your classes, do we just DM you on Instagram?
Yes. Yes. And yeah, whatever you're interested in, if it's on my resume there, we work it out.
Bridget, thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Really appreciate you. Thank you, all of our fellow 706ers. I appreciate you being here, being a part of
Yeah,
it,
but the
spending the
label's
day
not
with
on it.
us.